I cannot believe it. To the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player here. One of the two 16-year-olds today. In fact, Reno is still 15, I think, for another month or two. But one of the youngsters. This is our red Terran player to the bottom right-hand side. This is Clem. And in the other left, our blue Protoss player for Asterion is Harstem. Alright then, Harstem was on an absolute roll just a few days ago, and then unfortunately got knocked out of the BTSL Europe. But man, was this guy kicking ass in Nation Wars, and was he really showing us that he is the Protoss player to watch out for in Europe right now, along the along the sides of, along the, along there with Showtime and Drogo, who's been performing valiantly in DNS. Harstem's really come out of the gates kicking for the last month or so, so really excited to see how he can do in this group today. This group is stacked, by the way. I mean, we're talking Raynor. He's been beating all sorts of people lately. He just qualified to go play in Canada in the BTSL finals in a couple of weeks' time. He just qualified for that. We've got Clem, who just seems to be getting better and better and better. He made it into WCS Challenger. Didn't get out of the round of 16 group, but he still made it to Challenger, which is a great attempt, considering it's the first time he was eligible to play. We have Euthermal, and we all know Euthermal's playing probably the best StarCraft he's played in a long time at the moment as well, when he doesn't switch to Protoss mid-tournament. So, yeah, in general, this is one hell of a stacked group, and I don't want to make any calls. I wouldn't want to predict any of these matches today, because I really feel like every single one of these series could go the distance. I think we could see 18 maps of StarCraft, and out of 18 possible maps, I think we could go to Game 3 every single time. It's just one of those groups where there's really no telling who's going to show up, and, maybe one of these guys had a bad day, and not even a bad day, but just a day where their play is slightly off, and they're going to get punished for it, because, boy, this group is tough, it's competitive, and let's see how this does go down then as we get kicking off into our first game of the series. As we do see the Nexus coming down on the natural expansion. Well, obviously for Harstem, it's a pretty standard setup here initially with the first Adept just being chrono boosted out. The Reaper was starting to move onto the map but sees the probe coming back into the natural here, so Clem will pull that Reaper back. Actually means that he doesn't get across the map as soon and maybe pick up an information, and is a much faster Twilight Council than usual here. The Twilight Council dropped at 2.5 minutes. It feels very early. Usually when you scout with a Reaper, you're looking around, maybe the 3-minute marker to try and get an idea of what's going on, but this is going to be finished by then, with maybe even a Dark Shrine dropping down already. Harstem looking for some fast damage here, as we do see this Adept and this Reaper coming forwards, slamming into each other, and just going to be seeing them having a little bit of a fight here. I'm just going to be seeing the Adept and Reaper just again skirmishing, but the Adept does push that Reaper back as it shades forwards. A Hellion and a couple of Marines lie in wait, and this Adept, as he knocks on the front door of the natural, is just going to get a little bit of a toasting before really, for once and for all, being pushed away back to the Protoss side of the map. I say once and for all, but he actually turns around to fight the Reaper again. Reaper's going for the kill. Oh my god. Clem! He's going to kill the Adept with the Reaper. Oh, that was just cute. I mean, that's just so fun to watch. Little plays like that, the Reaper does outrange an Adept, but only just so. If Harstem turns around at the right moment and catches Clem off guard, boom. He gets that Reaper kill, and he doesn't lose the Adept. So it's risky, but it's not like something which is just a free pick off for Clem, because it's so easy for Harstem to turn and get that attack in on the Reaper, because it's only a run range difference. So that's nice play by Clem. A little bit risky, but was able to out-micro Harstem in that small situation where we were getting things going. We do see this Hellion is coming across over to the left-hand side. We do see Blink is about halfway done. Robo Facility starting up on this natural expansion here as well, here on Neon Violet Square. Reaper and the Hellion will be able to get a probe kill too as it comes towards the third Nexus, which is not going to go up just yet. And Reaper and Hellion are going to get out of there alive as well. So really, so far, good retention of units here by our Terran player. Just really doing as much as he can with so little. It turns out that this is just a fairly quick Blink. 3 gateways means that now he'll have a decent Stalker count moving forwards in the game. Does see the Nexus now going down, moves back again. Perfect grenade to push those Stalkers back just in case. And again, as that Stalker count rises up with Blink, you really can start to take quite a lot of map control here. As Harstem, you can start to get all the Stalkers moving forwards. You can start to get them out in position, and you can start to really do something with this. So I think Harstem, as Blink finishes up, we'll see if he does want to do something, or if he wants to sit and defend. There is a Widowmine drop into his main. Now he has Blink, so he can Blink on top of this quickly, and Clem able to turn away. He's just in the kind of position where he can turn and boost away before the Stalkers get a second shot off it. He was maybe Harstem just a second or so too early to jump on that. but he also wanted to jump on it before the Widow Mines came out, so arguably he wasn't looking for the kill on the medevac. He was looking to just stop the Widow Mines ever unloading, confident that he can, deal with the Widow Mines if they try and drop again elsewhere. We do see Marines pushing through the center. This is backed up by a siege tank here. Clem has put himself in this scenario where he is ready to attack, and actually Stalkers mid-map will find themselves a medevac. Loses one Stalker, but Blink coming off cooldown means he can move around again now. Actually finds those Widow Mines, and Blink will not quite find the kill, but gets it low, and obviously being low already means it's much easier to pick off as it tries to kind of, burrow underground in an attack. So getting that low already is a fantastic job. Liberator in the main base. Didn't get any worker kills though. Harstem very quick to respond. Does not allow Clem to do much more other than deny mining time, which will give Clem a little bit of an advantage. You can see that spike of income really favoring him, albeit just for a few seconds. If that happens a couple, 2-3 times over, that's when those advantages really will start to build up from having, from causing lost mining time to have taken place. Well, 2 Widow Mines, 2 siege tanks, and these Marines from Clem just sat in the natural expansion, as we are going to be seeing Harstem. Well, he gets in a charge on the way up. He's going to have his 1-1 upgrades coming through. He went for the double forge opening here, so playing a very macro-oriented style. It's the style that looks to really come into play and to kind of bring us kind of, a good long game where you have the 1-1 upgrades. And actually, look at this, the Liberator coming through, going to get a couple of kills off here. That's a couple of probes so far, and the Stalker's able to get that Liberator now. So Liberator falls a couple of probes. This time Harstem doesn't pull away, so he doesn't lose mining time, as those Marines kind of look as though they see the Observer, and he will scan for it there. You can see when he moves forwards like that and getting underneath, he just knows it's there. He wants to make sure he'll be able to get it when the scan does come down. Doesn't want to place the scan and then it just fly away. Obviously it was sieged up though, so it's pretty dead no matter what. While Stalkers here need to blink back as well. Tanks are slowly edging forwards. Good thing about this map for Clem is he doesn't actually need to move too far out of his natural to take a third base. In fact, he doesn't have to move out at all. That base comes down in the bottom right corner, and yes, it's a half base on minerals, but the gas there is just fine. And just that little bit of an extra boost of income is a fantastic little something for the freedom of being able to take it so early and without concern, because you're able to just sit up a ramp on your natural. Couple of tanks, Widow Mines here, the Bio Collector together. It's just fantastic, as we are going to be seeing 2-2 upgrades from Harstem, though. That will be what he's playing for here. Harstem's not looking for a fight right now. Harstem's looking for a fight 2 to 3 minutes from now with 2-2 against +1. Or he's looking for a fight 5 to 6 minutes from now with 3-3 against +2. Either way, he's looking for fights with upgrade leads and just strong compositions for himself. So the longer this goes, the better for him. And that's why he has players such as this War Prison coming down the south side to try and pull the Terran back, to delay an attack from coming in too soon. That's why he has the Stalkers on the map to try and buy time, shave off a couple of units, maybe make Clem think twice about continuing to push forwards here. Big warping in the main, and again, that forces a lot more than just the sort of reinforcements to come in here. Although that said, Clem loaded up, and then he's just going to start unloading. Widow Mines will start going off of these Zealots are so far going huge. A few more Zealots warping in at the moment. Bio getting rid of one of those Zealots there, and here we go. The Bio will push in towards this third base. Harstem might just be happy to trade this out in a way, like in a very weird way. Losing a Nexus is never good, but look at how much he's shutting down with these Zealots. He's doing quite a good job, but now the Widow Mines have gone off. The Zealots are a little bit weaker, and suddenly this Prism doesn't have much momentum left in it. In fact, it has to unsiege and get out of there. Now Harstem is 2 base against a 4 base Clem very shortly. This Prism doesn't really look to have much potential anymore. So now Harstem has to take this fight, and he will start a charge on in. That Widow Mine shot, though, is going to get so many of those Zealots into the red and orange health. That's so powerful. Clem lifts, he leaves, he gets out without losing too much in the end. Okay, this is only 3 medevacs that are getting out full of units, but God, it could have been so much worse, as we are going to be seeing those medevacs continuing back over the right side. Harstem will re-expand. Was the damage dealt here worthwhile going down 2 bases? I don't think so. 4th base up for Clem. I guess Harstem right now could throw down another Nexus in this top left side. This extra Nexus will allow him just, a little bit more, not that he needs gas right now, but gas right in a few more mineral patches. Maybe he just can't afford to at the moment. His income, despite being ahead in the work count, is surprisingly even, I suppose. You can see where Harstem spiked as those workers got pulled away. Obviously now Clem will take a bit of an advantage, but honestly, if you consider over the last 2 minutes, I say this is going to come out fairly okay for Harstem. It's going to be a little bit favorable for Clem, but I wouldn't say it's a complete disaster like it could have been. We are going to see a big drop to the top side. This is where it gets more difficult for Harstem, having to now defend masses of drops elsewhere on the map, while there's still very strong pushes coming through the center of the map as well. Liberator is starting to be included. That Widowmine count is growing, although I have to say down to the south, this army isn't really complemented by medevacs, which means it is a little bit battered and bruised already, and that could hurt it going into a fight if he tries to engage too soon. And Pylon out in the center actually supply blocks Harstem as he goes down. Unfortunately, the Nexus finishing will unsupply block him here. It's a bit of a saving grace, honestly. Stalkers have moved away from the main bases. Now these units are going to start dropping in. A few more Zealots that'll protect the Stalkers as he starts to pull back with this army. He just can't really justify fighting this, I feel like. He's pulled out a Liberator range, which will help a lot. The Archons are going absolutely huge. The Zealots, look at the 2-2 against the +1 attack. Talk about the upgrade lead. It is 2-2 against just +1 attack. +1 armor isn't finished yet. And it's Harstem again knowing that later in this game is where he's going to absolutely shine in this matchup right now with the way that he opened and the way his build worked out. And it's the fights like that where the upgrades really do start to truly become a massive something here. And all this bio dropping away towards the bottom right-hand side. Another scan in the upper left-hand side, as we are going to be seeing +3 attack, +3 armor. That's going to be finished when the Terran's still on 1-1. Take a moment to think about that. A 2 upgrade lead, not just in attack, in armor as well. This army is going to be insane from Harstem. He's going to be so powerful, and the previous, income disadvantage could very well be made up for by the power of this. Look at how Clem's army lost out last time with a single upgrade disadvantage. Now imagine, well, I guess it's a 3 upgrade disadvantage, but now imagine a 4 upgrade disadvantage. That is going to be insanely difficult to overcome. And he doesn't even have the armory yet. It's 40 seconds away, Clem. He needs this. A massive doom drop into the main. Harstem's almost just waiting for it. Blink, full medevac. Yes, please, and thank you. Harstem takes that down. No problem at all. It's Harstem who's got the Warp Prism, killing SCVs once again here. And as more SCVs go down, Harstem continues to pressure into a better spot. He jumps into the main. And Clem at the moment can't keep up. His army unloads over here. Still can't take that fight. I mean, he really can't without the upgrades, but then what do? Do you sit back and let Harstem do what he wants? That seems dangerous as well. Harstem sort of just has Clem backed into a corner without too much even having really happened. I mean, it felt like it was all Clem, right? Yes, he took some eco damage, but he killed a Nexus. He was up 2 bases. But those upgrades have been wailing away all game long for Harstem, and it's those upgrades which, in the very end of this here, when we look back at this first game, are going to be the saving grace. Now, definitely not over yet. Harstem can still screw up an engagement. Upgrades are great, but splash damage and, high target units, so high damage output units like Liberators, those can turn the tide of a battle here. And if Clem tries to base trade it, that's obviously going to potentially become an issue as well. Harstem probably just has a recall, though. Maybe you give up this base and you just recall elsewhere and hold another base. You've already killed one base here. That's pretty much all you can do. There's no way you're going to push through this amount of Liberators sieged up on this kind of natural position. And there is the recall, but he left some Stalkers to the right side. For a moment, that seemed like a pretty cool idea to maybe grab some medevacs, and maybe it still will be. Blink on cooldown. He can blink for the back one. Oh, he actually gets the center one, which is 2 full medevacs. Actually, just 1 full medevac, but the second one went down. Anyways, that was empty. And Clem just sort of stopped, realizing that was Harstem's. And let's see what's going to happen as we have to the top left-hand side. Our Red Protoss player from Mysterion is indeed Harstem. Going up against the blue Terran to the bottom right-hand side, XCD Sports Clem. What's up, Foster, my man, coming in with the 2-month resub during that hectic game number 1. Thank you so much for the 2 months. Appreciate the resub, bro. Hope you're doing good. Just a little bit of a heads up, guys, just at the very start of this game. I am away Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. I'm going to Switzerland for my mum's birthday, so I'm going to be gone for these 4 days, and then when I come back, I'm going to be back for a week and a half, or a week and a couple of days. Then I'm going to be flying to Vancouver for the BTSL finals, and then I'm going to be staying in the Americas for a couple of weeks. So, again, for the rest of this month, we're not going to have as many streams as usual, but I'm going to try my best to do some IRL streams. I'm going to try my best to find a couple of events I can maybe cast while I'm in, to maybe kind of be able to cast when I'm in a couple of different places while traveling and so on as well. So you guys can watch out for that. It's just we're not going to have, cast every... We're able to cast Pikachu at the BTSL and some other stuff like that. So you guys can check that out. What's up, New Rudin coming in with the Cheer 100 in the chat as well. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it as we get this ready to go. An Nexus coming down and very soon to be a command center behind this Reaper Expand. Will I be in Toronto? Nope, I'm going to be in Vancouver. And then am I going to be... Where am I going to be in Switzerland? I'm going to be far. I'm going to be all over the place in Switzerland. I'm going to Zurich, Grindelwald, and Lucerne, I believe. So, setting up. We're waiting to see how this game number 2 will open. So far, very standard. Nothing really too crazy as we get this rolling. What's up, the Nema coming in for the 16-month resub. Sweet 16. Thank you so much for the 16 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a great one. Thank you for the continued support. Goes a long way. WardiTV weekly series brought to you by the power of our subscribers. It's you guys, the subs, that support this stream enough to allow us to start running our own weekly tournament, which has weekly finals and all sorts of other fun and so on. So, yeah, very exciting times. Well, we are seeing this probe nibble on the way for Zeld coming across the map, followed by the Stalker. This is the opening which so many Terran players have struggled with recently, although he is actually going to finish the command center, so that's already a big deal, getting that up to the high ground. Starport on the way right now as well at the moment, so just going to see a couple of Marines poking away. A couple of probes have gone down. That Reaper picking up some damage over there as the units from Harstem just kind of came across the map initially. Widowmine's a really good response to this because already you're going to be able to move forwards and actually just really zone out the Protoss units quite heavily. I mean, there's only so much you can do. There's only so far forwards you can press. And now a Cyclone on the way as well. He doesn't quite get his natural backup and rolling, but he's morphing in an orbital anyway, so it's not the end of the world just yet. This time it is a Dark Shrine from Harstem, so this time he will play a bit of a cheeky build. He knows that the Reaper's gone down, so he knows there's not really going to be further scouting here in the near future from the Terran player. And this is one of those scenarios where you deny the natural for just a little bit, and so you're like, you know what? I feel as, you know, as a Terran player, you just sort of, even if you don't mean to, sometimes you're like, oh my god, my natural wasn't mine. I better mule. You don't think to kind of save yourself the DT or 2. Well, the scan or 2 to deal with the DTs. So we'll see how this goes. We do see this probe coming down to the bottom side. Is going to be throwing down a pylon. And with the pylon coming up into play, we are going to be seeing the blink starting up as well behind this for Harstem. So as he just sets to the front, he's still trying to do something. He's actually going to sacrifice the Zealot to get rid of the Widow Mine. For a moment I was like, because then the Cyclone's here anyways. I guess he pushes it back. He doesn't really kill it though, right? I guess it gives him some easier access for the DT. Not even too sure. Anyways, the Stalkers keep on poking. It keeps Clem busy, although not too busy, because right now 8 Marines are heading across the map in this medevac. I think Harstem has not really realized this just yet. And as he begins to warp in DTs across the map, that's definitely not going to help him with these Marines, which are currently in the natural. Marines dropping down, and, well, one probe went down so far. He's actually going to go for the shield battery, which is building. His probes are going to pull into fight during the target fire. DT arrives and is coming up this ramp. Scans are not currently... Okay, there's one scan available at the moment, and that's going to be a massive issue. A single DT at home is obviously going to start cleaning this up. There's the first scan. Oh no, he's going to lose 2 DTs to the single scan. And that's just GG. He's lost way too many probes on the other side of the map without his DTs doing anything. Disaster for Harstem. And Clem around the world as the revolution or the revelation of something we've been saying since the start of the stream is revealed yet again. Amazing, I know. Live action, guys. That's what we're all about here. We cast live as much as we can. When we do cast from replays, we always tell you about it. We never lie to you guys because for some reason it really bothers people. But anyways, let's do this. To the top right-hand side, game number 3. We have our red Terran player. This, my friends, is XED Sports Clem. Bottom left, this is our blue Protoss player from Asterion. It is, of course, Harstem. Looking amazing in game number 1 after taking a little bit of damage, giving up the 3rd base, but then also in some danger as well, and kind of, you know, it wasn't a clean win, but it was still convincing in the end. Game 2 was just a disaster from start through to finish. I mean, you can't really say much more about it, so that really was just a little bit disastrous, if I have to be honest with you guys. As you're all going to be seeing this. Nexus is starting to just get mining. Onto this assimilator. Mine away. Little probies. How's everyone doing tonight, guys? Is everyone feeling good? Is everyone having a good time? Has everyone had a wonderful start to their week? I hope so. Hope you guys have had a fantastic start to the week. It's been amazing for me so far. Yesterday, what did I do yesterday? Yesterday was Monday, right? I didn't really do anything yesterday. I just sort of played games. We streamed a bit yesterday, nothing major though. We had kind of a long weekend because I was a bit ill on Sunday. When I came into Casco for SC2, first of all, we didn't get into any matches for like half an hour. I also wasn't feeling very great, and then it just was one of those days where I was like, I don't think this is going to be a good stream, so we just sort of cut short. Because it felt as though by the time we were going to get going, WCS was going to go live, and it was just one of those, you know, it's just one of those days where everything fell apart, you know. You guys have those days where you wake up and, you know, everything feels great, and then it's like, you know, you pour like, I don't know, you pour like, you know, you pour your cereal onto a plate instead of a bowl, and you don't realize until you put the milk on and it spills everywhere. I've never done that. I can't think of a better analogy though. I'm a terrible analogist. Is that a thing? I don't think it is. I'm terrible at making analogies. Sometimes I think I should just shut up and just talk about StarCraft, but you know, sometimes I like to dive in and try and actually talk about other things. This is a very interesting fight between the Adept and the Reaper. The Adept just wins up, but not for long, because the Marines show up. One Adept, 2 Marines. I think that Adept's going to back away. And we are going to be seeing the cycle on the way out from Clem. Starport finishing up 2. And just at home from Harstem, the blink opener. No real changes at all. So, just getting into this. Just going to be seeing this medevac on the way out from Clem in the main base. We do see these Adepts just trying to pick up some more damage. So, again, I mean, a fairly standard opening. This time it's going to be double Cyclones. So there's some potential for a drop here with the Cyclones. Or he drops the Marines and a single Cyclone with a Cyclone coming out at home defensively. Let's see here in the next couple of moments. Again, a few extra gateways just currently on the way up. So, extra gateways coming down. A robotics facility dropping onto the natural. So robotics facility coming in on the natural, another couple of stalkers warping in too. And again, these couple of Adepts just continuing to head back home down to the bottom left hand side. Liberator starts up and gets ready to go. Why do I only need 2 Adept hits for SCV drone probe when he needs 3? Adepts actually 3-shot SCVs. They only do 22 damage a hit, which is 44 damage, which is only enough to get an SCV to 1 health, whereas a probe only has 40 health, same with a drone, so it actually does 2-shot drones and probes, but 3 shots SCVs. And that's how they balance TVP. Not quite, but it actually is kind of a... It's an interesting little thing that SCVs have slightly more health than other workers. The difference gets offset once +1 attack finishes anyways. For now, Stalkers have Blink, but this is an aggressive attack, and I mean, that's a Cybernetics core that's just going to straight up die. The thing is, though, while you lose this Cybernetics core, you're also losing a lot of damage time onto the actual units of the Protoss player, and that means he can just come forwards and fight you so easily after, because he's already dealt so much damage. And look at that Blink macro from Harstem, absolutely pristine, saving that 1 Stalker in the back. He lost 1 Stalker right at the front of that, but look at the efficiency. Yes, you lose a Cyber core, but 600 resources lost to 1,250. That's one hell of a trade from Harstem's point of view, as he goes up into his next Nexus now. He doesn't really care about the Cyber core. He can move in a couple of Zealots for a moment or two. He's actually going to use them to attack with, because he feels as though he's just killed us so much here. He might just be able to end the game right now. Pushing forwards, a bunch of Stalkers, a couple of Zealots. We see that tank up on the high ground, is in range to get something done. Harstem's just going to sit back and just work on the refineries. I mean, why not? You can kill these for free. Doesn't cost you anything at all. And as it doesn't cost you anything at all, I mean, it's just free damage, right? So, refinery is going down. A couple of SCVs are dropping, but it's just lack of gas now for the Terran player. And suddenly, he can't keep up Widowmine medevac production while starting combat shields and +1 attack. You know, he has to choose what he has. And okay, he's got +1, he's got stim on the way, but it's only 1 medevac. There's no Widowmines at the moment. And this is all just a result of missing out on that refinery mine for a little while. Awesome, just pushing forwards with his advantage. Double Forge drops down now, so he's going to be playing behind on upgrades initially, but will catch up as the game progresses. Now he'll get charged too to make those Zealots just that little bit better. We do see the Prism going to drop in towards the main in the next couple of moments. Thinking about warping in there, I mean, alternatively, you can just warp in on the low ground. Warp in on the low ground and kind of help this push. Or you can drop the Stalkers up here, and then maybe you can actually still... then you don't need to warp in, I guess, but you can also... still deal some damage. I think the whole idea of this is just pull units out of position so the rest of the Stalkers can hit the natural, but he decides not to. It's a lot of bio there. I feel as though Harstem has, I mean, again, we can see that he has a wide opening, but maybe he's just, you know, preoccupied elsewhere, busy dealing with some other bits and pieces. We're going to see this Prism just falling back in towards the center, and we do see a pylon from Harstem just sat to the right-hand side as well. Combat shields, stim pack. Upgrades coming through here from Clem. That's obviously going to make his army so much more powerful. Few Zealots start to warp in and maybe help fight this here. And we're going to see the Stalkers initially backing away. Doesn't quite get that first Widowmine. That was already on low health. Yeah, another orbital just moving out in towards the third base location. And getting a little bit of a stim force on the Stalkers. Ooh, they're really taking a little bit of a beating there. Two of them going down. Another blink away as Harstem just runs in fear of this very scary bio army. In fairness, it's got +1 attack. It's got stim. It's got combat. It's got everything you kind of want right now as the Terran player. A couple of Zealots counter-attack. I know we've seen this before, but this time it's going to be dealt with much more easily. Widowmines will get the kills without much of an issue at all. Force fields are going to be essential here to buy time. +1/+1 halfway done. I don't know if he can buy time for those upgrades, but at least now he has charge. Harstem still dealing some damage across the map. These two Zealots on the third base have gotten 5 SCV kills. And Prism's looping back around towards the third now as well. I mean, he's keeping the third away from mining, which is actually a kind of a big part of this right now. Harstem's setting up a bit of a flank in from a couple of directions. Can he wait just a few extra seconds for +1/+1? Doesn't seem like he's just going to go right now. Honestly, the Widowmines didn't seem to do that much. There's a lot of Zealots still on full health and full shields. And the Clem just has to back away. He knows that fight didn't go his way initially, so he does begin to back off. Reinforcements obviously haven't been coming over the map either because they've been staying at home to defend. Now Stalkers trying to do what they do best. Blinking after one of those medevacs, gets one. The medevac's now lifting up, loading those units, and backing away back towards this third base. And a War Prism comes up the top side, and we do see a few Zealots which just peeled away from the main army to jump into that here, so nice little play by Harstem. It's something which just allows him to do a little bit more, as he wants to try and keep the Terran pinned back, although this Widowmine defense, oh, is it going to connect? If the Prism, if it goes top side, it's going to get in. If it goes a little bit further south, it's going to get blown the hell up. Liberator will come here and actually see the Prism, and so that's actually going to be Harstem's plan to just back away instead, even though that Liberator is actually just on move command. I think Harstem's realizing that Clem did not see this War Prism at all, but he definitely saw the Liberator. You can see his response here, pulling those Stalkers towards the upper left-hand side now. Going to get them there to be able to intercept that Liberator, shut it down nice and quickly. There you go, blinks on, Liberator gets shot down instantly, no damage dealt there at all. And again, that War Prism still ready to dive into the main whenever he needs to. And the timing like this is perfect because it distracts the Terran during a fight, and they have to kind of really think about where they want to focus their attention. I'm just going to be seeing the bio army of Clem coming around, and we are going to be seeing these Zealots, Stalkers, Immortals. And here we go, the Zealots going to push on in. We're going to see the Stalkers coming around. Oh, the Widowmines, I'm not sure if that was good or bad for either of the players. Kind of hard to see. Guardian Shield pops. I mean, a lot of Harstem's army's a bit out of position. Guardian Shield covering the entirety of it, but it's about to fade away. Meanwhile, the Widowmine is starting to deal some damage here. That Prism's low, but he will unload the Zealots, which is one of the more important things. I don't think he wants to kind of... Okay, he is going to warp in on this side of the map. I mean, here comes the bio that will respond to it. That War Prism now going down. Suddenly Clem has nothing else to worry about in this side of the map. He lost 10 SCVs, yes, but they're replaceable. Oh, it's a lift-up. A lift-up that's going to work out. A few Stalkers warping into the main. No recall? Oh, I don't believe there's no recall. We're going to see just a few Stalkers here. I think for a moment there, Clem thought this was a recall with the fact that he tried to back away from just a couple of Stalkers. Wow. Does Harstem use his recall already, or is he just... Because I really feel... I mean, I guess the issue with the recall is if you recall and he drops this base instead, then you're in trouble. Nice blink in. We'll just get one of the medevacs before it finishes unloading. A few Zealots to try and tank the damage. Harstem continued to have to move around his bases as the Terran player jumps from one base to the other. You see this bio continue to just kite away up this side. And another Zealot just charging forwards. We're going to see these Stalkers just continue to fight here. And get picking off another couple of Marines. Could be able to just kind of blink, I think, as well. Get rid of another couple of those medevacs. Doesn't quite find it, though. Clem and Harstem are clashing horns in that first series of the day, guys. And of course, we have so many more games coming up for you. We're going to be starting the day with all of the Protoss games. Harstem versus Clem, then against Uthermal, then against Raynor, and then we get into the rest of those matches, TVTs and TVZs, to wrap the day up. As Uthermal, Clem, and Raynor will still have to play against each other as well. 6 best of 3s today, and this is just the first of them. Probe, middle of the map, gets taken down. Not sure what it was doing there. Lots of Widow Mines in this army. Storm starts from Harstem, and obviously that is a game changer. Storm always is, but especially against this many Widow Mines. Imagine one Storm and all of those clumped up together. Now I'm sure as Storms come into play, Clem will start to split the Widow Mines up a little bit further, but it really is just going to be an amazing counter to what is already, currently happening. Widow Mines going off there already. 12 probes going down in the last few moments. I think I've missed a Liberate or something coming around. Prism finds itself a sneaky entrance into the main base. Just a few Zealots warping in initially. Harstem has the money for more, but maybe his gateway is just on cooldown there. He does have a few more starting to come on through now, right now. And a few Zealots continue to come on forwards. The Prism taking another shot as it comes in towards the third base. Meanwhile, Harstem actually cleans up this main army of Clem. Clem has a little bit of a run by force over here. It's a very low number of Marauders, mostly backed up by Widow Mines. He's going to tuck himself away in the corner here, hoping that the Widow Mines can do enough to protect him. Temple Archive Snipe would be absolutely amazing right now. A couple of Widow Mines have already gone off here. Some Zealots charging in. 15 probes going down to the 13 SCVs. This is a cleanup, but now Clem attacks the right-hand side. Harstem left enough army in position, though, so Harstem's already there. Clem can't push forwards, and he has to pull away again. This low-health Prism is just moving around, trying the best it can to fight any further damage. Again, these guys are going at each other's throats, and they are not falling short of dealing a lot of damage to the other. They really are. Both of these players are really having a lot of success so far. We are going to be seeing the army from Clem just completely backing off, though, and it looks as though for a moment or two we're going to have peace across the map of Blackpink. But I mean, now when Harstem attacks, this time he's got Storm available to him. He's got High Temple with the energy on them already. In fact, he's got 5 of them, so he's really already set for the next big fight. And as we see Clem, I mean, he's on not really that many Liberators, just 4 right now. That's not really enough to kind of be the big decisive factor that Liberators saw off. And oh, there's the Storm on the Widow Mines. Oh, but he doesn't quite finish them. I mean, it means they go down so easily once the Archons do get on top. More of the High Templar coming through here. DT mixed in as well. And Harstem continue to trade out now. The last couple of units going down. These last couple of Liberators are just kind of stuck on their own. Widow Mines going huge here, honestly. They're doing a lot of damage, but at the same time, those DTs in the third base, which killed off so many SCVs.